Hi guys, thank you for joining us again. So we're trying something new today. We're doing it from isolation. So I've got Sam with me on video chat from Beachcomber. Welcome, Sam. Thank you for joining us.
Hi everyone, thanks for having me.
No, it's a pleasure. Thank you for taking the time out. So Sam works for Beachcomber Tours, who have hotels out in Mauritius. Is predominantly what we think of them and we use them for. Obviously, Mauritius is a soft spot for a lot of us at Off Broadway, and I know Sam's recently been out there as well. So, what do you think, Sam? What do you think to Mauritius?
Well, yeah, it was quite the whirlwind trip to see all of our hotels and as much of the island as possible. But yeah, for my first time to the Indian Ocean, it was breathtaking. It was absolutely fantastic. The hotels were great. The staff were just phenomenal. The island itself is just beautiful. It really took me away how lovely it was. And what my sort of preconceptions of what Mauritius was in terms of a honeymoon hotel-based destination was completely sort of put to bed, really. You know, there's so much to do outside of the hotels, and the people outside of the hotels are just as good. But you know, we've got some nice hotels to stay there as well.
Yeah, and I've been lucky enough to see and stay in some of those hotels as well, which we'll come on to. So just to sort of start off, in terms of where it is in the world, how you get there, do you want to just give a kind of a little bit of an overview of where it is, how you get there, how easy accessible it is on airlines, etc.?
Yeah, absolutely. So airlines-wise, it's really accessible. So we've got direct flights out of London with Air Mauritius and British Airways. Flight time direct is give or take 11 and a half to 12 hours.
Yep.
If not, there's great connections through Dubai with Emirates. So there's 2 flights a day from Dubai. So it doesn't really matter if you have a morning, mid-afternoon or the evening flight out of your UK regional airport. You can pretty much connect onto a Mauritius flight pretty easily from Dubai. Flight times then you're looking at 6.5 to 7 hours to Dubai, and then the same onwards then from Dubai to Mauritius. In terms of time difference and stuff like that, it's great because you are sort of generally flying in a southern direction. So it's never more than 3 to 4 hours. I think now the British summertime's come into play. I think it's down to 3 hours now. So time difference, it doesn't have a major effect on, or as big an effect on jet lag, because of just the location of it. And weather-wise, it is an all-year-round destination. It does have 2 pretty distinct seasons, summer and winter, but their winter temperatures are an average of around 22, 23 degrees. So it's hardly the winter that we deal with here. And then in the summer, you're looking at around sort of an average of 31 to 32, but the humidity just does ramp up.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and I've been lucky enough to travel in both those seasons actually. So I personally have been in, I think, May, June, October, September and October, I think maybe, and possibly another one as well. But so yeah, I can vouch for that year round. I mean, it is tropical, so you do get some rain throughout the course of the day, pretty much year round. But it's sort of short bursts, and other than that, it's really nice weather.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like our summer holidays for families, it's a fantastic destination to go to. The temperatures are, really comfortable throughout the whole day for young kids, and then for the real sort of sun worshippers that want to get some winter sun, it's absolutely perfect. Yeah, when I was there in January, we had it's potluck. There was it's just a beautiful island, and the hotels are geared up for if the weather's a little bit shaky, then there's plenty to do.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So your hotels, we'll come on to your hotels, because I don't want to sort of spend too much time on Mauritius and not spend enough time on the beach.
I'll talk about hotels.
So do you want to, what we'll do is we'll kind of, if you want to give an overview of what you have on offer, and then we can kind of drill down into what hotels suit what kind of market. But do you want to just give a very quick overview as to what the actual brand is and where you sit?
Yeah, so we've got 8 hotels on the island, and we have, let me get this right now, 5 in the northwest of the island, 2 in the southwest, and 1 on the southeast close to the airport. Our hotels range from our entry-level hotel is 4-star, and then we go up to a 5-star plus, we will call it. It's a level above 5-star, we could say. And then we have, a hotel line in between for every, every type of client that would want to go to Mauritius, whether it's a family, whether it's a couple celebrating their honeymoon and wanting a really sort of adults only orientated holiday, or literally everything in between. We do have a hotel and a location as well that would suffice to what people would want out of their holidays. And again, the same on board bases as well. We've got a wide varied range of board bases across our hotels, ranging from villas that we have on bed and breakfast to all the way up to all-inclusive stays at half of our hotels.
And so if we because I've been to a lot of them, so if we start kind of at like the more lead-in end of the hotels and kind of work our way through, I mean, you're probably going to be obviously more clued up than I am in terms of what they offer on board bases. So I know you mentioned obviously the all-inclusive, so I know you've got a couple of all-inclusives that I would say target more either your lead-in honeymoon clients or wedding clients, but also then are sort of targeted more towards families as well. Want to just kind of go into a little bit more detail on what those hotels are and what they offer?
Yeah, absolutely. So our entry-level hotels, we've got Mauritius, we've got Canoniere, and we have Victoria. They're sort of the 3 hotels that come in first. All of those can be booked on an all-inclusive board basis. Mauritius and Victoria, for myself and from what my own perceptions were absolutely perfect for families. Victoria's got the largest entry-level rooms for families. They've got 2-bedroom apartments there. So again, fantastic for families and for people that don't want to all just be based in one room on their holiday. Mauritius was perfect for customers that don't want to be sort of not stuck in their resort, but pretty much resort based. I am one of those people that I do like to experience getting out and about and seeing the island or wherever I am, what destination I'm at. And Mauritius' location is fantastic. The hotel is literally, the beach it's on is Grand Bay Lagoon. So you can walk out of the hotel within 5-10 minutes, be in Grand Bay, where there's shops, bars, boutiques, restaurants. So it's got a fantastic location. I'd actually say probably the best location to explore out of your hotel, out of any of our 8 hotels. And then Canoniere sort of sits in between that. Again, fantastic for families. I think personally there is a really good vibe there for adults there. There's a really, really amazing spa that's built into a banyan tree. It's just beautiful. One of the most picturesque restaurants we've got as well, in the Navigator restaurant, which sits right at the end of the peninsula that we've got there. It's just stunning. So I'd say those are the 3 sort of hotels that come in first for us.
And then, so just a quick question on that, and I don't know if this is still the case, because I actually went on a personal holiday and I stayed at the Canoniere for a couple of nights, and then I went off to one of the other ones, which we'll come on to in a bit. But at the time, you were able to interdine between a couple of those 3. I don't know if that's still the case or not, but I think you were able to interdine or at least arrange a meal out if you wanted to.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I went to Mauritius.
Yeah, no, you can still do that. As far as I'm aware, when I was there in January, we asked this question. I think when we used to actually run that, we would put on transportation, which I don't think you don't do that anymore. No. But yeah, it is still accessible to sort of go to one of the other.
Yeah, well, because when I stayed at Canoniere, we went to Grand Bay for the day because Grand Bay is really lovely. Just loads of little sort of boutique shops. There's a little court there that you can go and mooch around. So actually, it's really nice for sort of a morning out. But we were staying at Canoniere, and we popped into Mauritius and sat and had a drink at the bar, just because I wanted to see it, obviously being a travel agent. But actually, knowing you're allowed to do it, it was nice to just go and sit somewhere else for a change of scenery and just have a drink around the pool, which was quite nice.
Absolutely, yeah, definitely. And I personally just really, really liked Mauritius. I've got a really soft spot for it. I just liked the vibe that was there. Everyone just seemed to be on a really, really sort of feel good factor. It just, I don't know, it just really, really sort of gripped me, the hotel. I loved it.
Yeah, no, it's really nice. And then, so you mentioned, I'm just sort of I'm conscious of time, so I'm just going to sort of skip through them. You mentioned Victoria. I know I haven't actually seen this, but there's also a recent addition of the adults only section to Victoria as well now. So before we kind of go, that's kind of like the next step up. Before we go to any other hotels, that's the next step up within those three, that you can have the adults only at Victoria.
Absolutely, yeah. There's the most stunning new block of rooms now that's been built. It's got the longest pool in Mauritius, which is a swim up pool as well. So there's, let me get this right now, I think there's 17 swim up rooms along this pool. It's over 120 meters long.
Oh, wow. Nice.
And then they've got it's sort of block levels of 3. So then there's swim up rooms on the bottom floor, and then ocean facing rooms on the 2nd and 3rd floors. They are absolutely stunning, and the rooms are huge as well. For 2 people, they are massive.
Yeah.
You get your own dedicated adults only restaurant, which where the restaurant's actually located is fantastic, because it backs onto called Morris Beef, which is the adults only restaurant, which guests can go to in Victoria, just obviously not without children.
Yeah.
But it also backs onto the Italian restaurant.
Okay.
So from Morris Beef, you can actually dine off 2 menus, right. And you can interdine in between them as well. So if you wanted your starter off the Italian and your main and your dessert off the Morris Beef.
That's clever.
Yeah, so we actually did that when I went there in January. We sort of interdined off both menus, and it's fantastic. So you've actually got 2 adults only restaurants based in the one location, and then obviously you've got access to the rest of the restaurants across Victoria. Yeah, but it's stunning, absolutely stunning.
And I can't move on from Victoria without mentioning the sunsets, because I've personally holidayed in Victoria, but I've also visited it on a few work trips, and the sunsets off of that side, off of that west coast there, are incredible.
They are just beautiful, and there's actually in the Victoria for 2 section the most amazing sort of setup with bean bags and chairs around this big sort of open fire, with all fairy lights set up, and yeah, for sundowners it's just beautiful.
Yeah,
absolutely beautiful.
Nice. Absolutely. So then moving on, just sort of skipping over to, I guess, I don't know what you would class as your next hotel. I mean, I would sort of move on to Chandrani, because it's still the all-inclusive concept. And when I said I've been there on a holiday, so my personal holiday, I did a couple of nights at Canoniere and then went down and did the week at the Chandrani, because it gave me the chance to see the north of the island and then the south of the island. And I know you can do it in a day, because I mean, from top to bottom, I think it's about an hour and 20 hours.
Oh yeah, hour and 20 tops. Yeah.
But it was nice to stay at the top, go and see Grant Bay, experience that for what it was, and then move down to that south, to kind of the southeast part where Chandrani is based. So do you want to give a bit more of an introduction of what Chandrani is like and what that has to offer and how that differs?
Yeah. Absolutely. So Chandrani was actually our first hotel that we built on the island back in the 1960s. So it's sort of the old girl of the brand, basically. So Chandrani's actually going through, or will be going through in May, some renovations from May to November. So that will give it a bit of an update, which will be good. But it's an absolute sort of fans' favourite for repeat customers. You know, people that have been there go back there again and again and again. It was the leading all-inclusive property. It was the first property to introduce all-inclusive to Mauritius. You know, with everything included, water sports, or premium drinks, multitude of restaurants, everything was included, and it still is now. So it sits between the 3 hotels that we've just spoke about and the ones above it. It's sort of the happy medium. Amazing for water sports, like absolutely incredible. At all of our hotels, water sports are included, including water skiing and wakeboarding. But the water sports at Chandrani and the activities seem to be probably the best out of all of them. Most people were getting involved in them. The water skiing was everywhere. Is amazing.
And the thing that I like about Chandrani is it's based on a marine park. So I mean, I'm big for snorkeling and diving and things like that, but you can literally walk out off the beach and you can see
And
fish swimming around. You can the snorkel trips, because you guys include snorkel trips daily as well, and glass bottom boat trips. And on that marine park, I mean, that's just
it's
incredible.
stunning.
And they've got a resident turtle, I think it is, that they go and have a look at. It's like one of those giant.
Yeah.
No, they're. But I love the marine parks aspect of that as well. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, it's amazing, and as I said, it's an absolute fan's favourite for people that are going back once they've been, and you know, they just get taken by the hotel. It is and the amount of beaches there, so it's got access to 4 beaches across the location, including the lagoon side, so really, really placid, you know, as just great for snorkeling. And then you've got on the complete opposite side of that, you've got what's called Wild Beach, so a real sort of more rugged surf and atmosphere there, and so, you know, just a really sort of great noise there from the waves. It's stunning property, and it's so vast as well. It's got its own 9-hole pitch and putt golf course. It's got a bit of everything.
Yeah, that's got a spa there as well, which I've been lucky enough to experience. So that's nice. I think for me, and I don't know if you agree, but Chandrani, it does still accept families, and I know that a lot of families still go there. But as you said, it's kind of the happy medium between the leading hotels and then the more luxury hotels that maybe aren't on an inclusive basis. So whilst they accept families, it's not necessarily geared up for families in the same way. So you have less families. I would say it appeals more to a honeymoon kind of market or an adult kind of market than it does families. Although it does still have a lot of kids, you know, entertainment, etc.
Absolutely, yeah. It is a good all rounder, but it's just that happy medium between, you know, as I said, because it is so vast and it's got so much space, and you know, you can always find, you know, quiet areas and areas where, you know, you are more secluded and stuff like that. So it's definitely got that vibe to it, and one of the best Italian restaurants you've ever eaten in your life there. So it's stunning.
Yeah, it is. No, it is really nice. And then, okay, so quickly moving on then, because I'm just conscious of time, I guess the next sort of level of hotels. So you've got Dina Robin and Paradis, which are on the Le Mans Peninsula. And again, you can enter, dine and use the
Yeah, absolutely,
where does that sit in relation to Trow Beach? I mean, there's Dina Robin, Paradis and Trow Beach kind of all of a similar standard?
Absolutely, yeah. They're all of a similar standard. They're all resorts, as opposed to similar to Chandrani as well, where some of our the hotels that we've spoken about are more hotels. So these are, again, vastly spread out. So you've got Trow Beach, which is still in the northwest, about 10 to 15 minutes, depending on traffic, in a taxi to Grand Bay. So again, you've still got great access to Grand Bay if you wanted to get out and about. You've got 6 restaurants at Trow Beach as well, again, including the best Indian restaurant I have ever eaten in my life. It was phenomenal at Trow Beach. And then, in the southwest, then you've got the breathtaking Le Mans Peninsula with Le Mans Mountain in the background, where we're lucky to have Dina Robin and Paradis. So we've got both hotels sort of stuck next to each other. To be honest with you, as you said, you wouldn't really know when you'd walked out of the one hotel and into the other, really. That, you know, it's quite fluid. You can eat across those 8 restaurants across those 2 resorts. You can eat in all of those. There's a small surcharge at one of them, but that's just the one Asian restaurant, but the rest of them are all included in your whatever package you've got. It's quite fluid. You wouldn't know if you'd walked into one and into the other. It's just sort of one big strip, basically. And there's regular sort of taxis and golf buggies that will take you from room to room, hotel to hotel, restaurant to beach, you know, wherever you need to go. It's really easy to get about, and one of the most breathtaking golf courses, if you're into golf, one of the most breathtaking golf courses you're ever going to play on. It's absolutely amazing.
I've never got to play it, but I'm definitely going to get out there at some point to play on it, because it does look lovely.
Yeah, it's stunning. Literally, like the Mourne Mountain, just like cascades over the back of you. It's just stunning, and you can hike up Le Mourne Mountain as well, which I did. And the pictures, I'll send you across some pictures. You can maybe attach it to this. The pictures that you get from up there are just amazing.
Yeah.
It's, you know, about a 2 hour uphill walk / scramble. I wouldn't say it's a climb. It's definitely not a climb. Those people of all ages, are doing it when I was doing it. It's absolutely stunning and well worth a trip up there with the guides, because the guides from the hotel were brilliant as well. The story of Lamorne Mountain is just amazing.
Brilliant. And then so with Dean Robin and Paradis, and then the Trobeach as well, we'll include that. So Trobeach, obviously you said, is still sort of the northwest. But all three of those you can have half board. Can you still have full board, or because you now also offer the escape plan, which is or the escape package, which is kind of close to package, but not quite all inclusive? Do you want to just kind of give a bit of a?
Yeah, I'll explain the escape package. So the escape package is an all-inclusive package to an extent. So if I give you, say, a Paradis, for example, Paradis and Dean Robin have got numerous beach bars dotted along the beach. If you wanted to go to one of those beach bars to grab a drink, that wouldn't be included in your escape package. So, but if you went to the main bar, I know walking 2 minutes to the main bar is a taxing thing when you're in Mauritius. But if you walk to the main bar, you could then get your drinks and they would be included in your escape package. And obviously in your escape package, you get lunches included as well. So it's just, the escape package is included on distinct bars across the resort.
Right.
Whereas in the hotels that we spoke about earlier, you can go to any bar across the resort and get a drink, which will be included. To be honest with you, the thing that really shocked me was the price of drinks. They were really, really reasonable across all of the resorts, because you have got quite a captured market, obviously, which hotels, sometimes do take advantage of. And I really, really didn't think that, the prices of drinks were really, really reasonable across all of our hotels. So, so it wasn't a major thing having to buy drinks, because we were normal customers, we were getting drinks from wherever. So no, it was good.
Brilliant. And then so the only one that's left above those is Royal Palm, which is one that I haven't actually haven't had the pleasure of seeing yet. So it's all over to you on this one. Have you been lucky enough to see it or not?
I have been lucky enough to see it, and I've at lunch there as well. And obviously, I think Trish stayed there
earlier this year,
2 weeks ago now, I think it was. Time flies when we're on isolation. So she experienced it firsthand. If there was such a thing, Royal Palm would be a 6-star hotel. It is just a level above a 5-star in terms of it's only a 69 room hotel, I'm going to say. I'm getting on my knowledge there. I think it's 69 rooms. So it's got a really big, boutique-y feel to it. The ratio of staff to clients is incredible. It's got a Michelin star chef there, who the past 2 chefs have been from France and have moved over to Mauritius to work at Royal Palm. So it's everything, the spa, the service levels, the rooms are just absolutely incredible. It's just that one step above a 5-star in every aspect. The food, everything, the beach, it's just beautiful. It is just beautiful.
And the location of that is up near Grand Bay as well. It's near Mauritius, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's really close to Mauritius. It's literally, you could walk out of Royal Palm's entrance to Mauritius in 2 minutes. It's again got a great location in Grand Bay. So if you can tear yourself away from all that luxury in that hotel, you've got a great location outside of it to get out and experience Grand Bay and have a little bit of a mooch around and stuff like that. So no, location-wise, it's phenomenal. It is, as I said, it's just the best on everything we could offer. Royal Palm just tips it on everything.
Yeah. Brilliant. Okay, that's cool. And like I said, I am conscious of time because I know we're on a limit, but just very quickly, so obviously that's all of your hotels, which obviously if anybody needs any more information, they can come to us at Off-Broadway. We've all been lucky enough to stay there and see them. But you said at the beginning, the Mauritius a lot of people's perception of Mauritius is that it's a beach and it's a honeymoon destination, but there's so much going on the island. I mean, I personally have been to Casella National Park and been walking with lions. I've done the quad bike safari out there. You can hire a boat for the day. You can do catamaran trips off to a private island called Illo Surf. I mean, is there anything else that you got to do while you was out there recently that you'd recommend?
Oh, absolutely. I'm grabbing a picture for you now that I can sort of twist around. So these are some of the pictures. I wore a horrific colour, but climbing up Lamorne Mountain.
Oh, perfect, yeah.
So, absolutely, I flick across, it was absolutely stunning, like literally picture perfect. And then the other thing, so we went to Lavanille as well, which again is another nature reserve there. It's where one of the largest tortoise sanctuaries, I think, in the Southern Hemisphere, where you can have the most amazing experience seeing, tortoises hatch from, being a couple of days old to Domino. Who's this fella?
Yeah, huge.
2 years old. And you can have this amazing experience with these tortoises. We also really each side of the road as us. It's really, really accessible to get around the islands. We went to Grand Bassin as well, which is where a lot of the Indian and Asian heritage resides around. There's some amazing temples there. So again, the island is a real sort of melting pot of cultures and foods and sights and smells. So it's there to explore and to get around. And there's some amazing waterfalls and tea sanctuaries, and there's literally something for everyone to do.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think I'd say there's so much. We definitely can't cover it all now, but if anybody's interested in knowing more, then obviously, as I've said, they can get in touch with us. We can get in touch with you. But yeah,
you guys are the real experts, not me.
That's true. Yeah, come to me first.
Yeah.
But no, I mean that gives us. It just gives us kind of an overview of Mauritius, and Beachcomber are some of our favourite hotels in the island. We've all, as I said, been lucky enough to holiday there, and actually I did go on a holiday to Mauritius and not stay at a Beachcomber hotel, and I have to say that the service level between it was a last minute one. I tried to get into Victoria, but it was fully booked. But the service level between what you can have and what you can experience at Beachcomber versus other hotels, and I'm not talking all hotels, but in my experience, the hotel that I stayed at was being sold virtually on par with Victoria, but it just wasn't a touch on what Victoria offers. So, that's straight from the horse's mouth, as it was. I'll be honest, and that's the reason we sell Beachcomber, because we know that the service level is always so high, and the standard of the food and the facilities and everything.
Absolutely. You only have to look at. Yeah, absolutely. And you only have to look at when I was there. It was. They were laughing at me. I was only 3 weeks into work at Beachcomber, and the staff, once they start working for the hotels out in Mauritius, that's it. It's a job for life. Yeah. The company really, really look after their staff. You'll speak to the barman or the head waiter, and they've been working there 20 and the hotels, from the day, and that comes across in when customers come and visit us, and as you said, in the service that they receive.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, thank you for your time, mate. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.
And good luck with the rest of isolation.
Absolutely. Stay safe, everyone.
Yeah. Take care, mate.